Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We're also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss a new product from Diageo, Stitzel Reserve. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Igley, along with our special guests, Linda Monica and Lenny Eckstein.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey-oh, how many people you think are going to call this Stitzel Weller Reserve? It's going to happen, right? Though the Stitzel Weller goes so well together. Of course, Weller's owned by Sazerac, so you won't see the Diageo crew slip up on that. Otherwise, they'll get a lawsuit. But I would think most fans will be like, "You got that Stitzel Weller Reserve?"
I almost wanted to put it that way. It wasn't in the notes that way, but it's almost by habit.
I know, yeah. They're connected in your brain already.
It is.
So yeah.
Had you not said anything, I most certainly would have done that.
Right, exactly. It's natural. You still might. Yeah. I still might too. Someone will catch me doing it too. I'm sure. It's just as McNew was saying, I was like, it needs to be Stitzel Weller Reserve, but they couldn't do that. So that would cause some grief, I'm sure. So, all right, we'll be talking about that today, and we also have one of our guest hosts today, Katie Joyce, is running late, so she could come storming in here at any time, or she might not even make the show. We have no idea. She just told me she's running late, so I don't know what that means. We'll see. She's a judge, so I assume she probably thinks we're not going without her because court never starts without the judge. So she assumes everything in her life, we'll just wait, but we're going on without her. So we'll see.
Do we need to stand up and all rise?
Oh yeah, of course.
Right.
She expects that. Yes. Yeah. That's a given. Yeah, that's a given. All right. McNew, you said you had something you want to talk about. What is that?
Yeah, I wanted to know, how nosy are you guys? So if you're just sitting outside on your porch, minding your business, having a drink because it's nice out, and somebody gets pulled over in front of your house, are you going in or are you sitting there and watching the whole thing?
Well, I would. If you were just asking, are you nosy? I would probably say I'm not nosy. But if that was going to happen outside my house, and I live in a subdivision, so it'd be weird to have someone pull over in front of my house. But sure, I would watch it. I mean, because all my neighbors would watch me. One time I had a tree that was partially down, and then we had the neighbor's fence was near it, and I just wanted to cut that thing down. If something happened, I was going to try to fix it. But the neighbors all stood out there and watched while I did it. So fuck them. If one of them get arrested, I'm going to sit out there and watch the goddamn thing. Yeah.
So I'll be watching, but I'll be like looking through my windows. I don't want to be like out there in it. No. I'll be like just peeping.
I'm going to be out there. I had to be taken out from my house in an ambulance one time. I crashed through the ceiling famously, and I cut my leg all up, and it was bad. And all the neighbors are standing out there watching me getting loaded up, and then one of them called, because I got a buddy, I got one that's friends with a buddy. They called and said, I think Steve had a heart attack. And this was like 10 years ago. And so I, they're trying to call me. Well, I'm not answering anything. I don't even have my phone with me. I'm in the ambulance, and they're calling the wife saying, I heard Steve had a heart attack and all this. So it was a whole thing. Yeah. No, so
my father-in-law did that, crashed through the ceiling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a thing.
They're hazardous.
They are hazardous. It was just for a momentary lapse of being, anything but an idiot. I just stepped off the wood and onto the drywall, and
Did
and
you
the thing
go all the way through?
I would kind of. I caught myself on a trestle, but what happened was, as I catch myself, my body, of course, is swinging, and it took me through the garage, and my leg crashed through a fish tank that wasn't in use. It was in storage on top of a shelf in the garage, and my knee went through there, and it cut me. I don't know how many 100 and something stitches I had to get. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and of course, the warden comes running outside. I've told this story on here before, but it's been a long time. So the warden comes running out the garage, and she's like, "We got to take you to the hospital." I was like, "Nah, we'll just drive in." And I'm on my workbench then, because that's where it was on the shelf above that. So I'm standing on the workbench. So I go to the end of the workbench and go to bend down because I'm going to sit down and then jump off the workbench. Mm-hmm. And as I do, I see that big long cut opens up, and I could see my femoral artery. And you see all the inside of your leg that you're not used to seeing. There's meat and blood and fat. All that
hanging out in there.
What's that?
Just like junior mints, all kinds of weird.
All kinds of weird stuff in there, and I'll tell you what. I hate to say it, but I got a little queasy. I was like, "Oh, this. I don't feel. Let's go ahead and call the ambulance," like she was saying to do. I wasn't. I was just hanging in there. And let me tell you something. If you're ever in that situation, I don't know if you guys have ever been in an ambulance. As you're sitting there, you're not knowing if you're going to live or die at that point. I had no idea what was happening to me. Am I bleeding out? I'm not sure. I was bleeding a lot. Am I bleeding? I don't know what's happening to me. When you finally hear that ambulance coming, the sirens, it's a good feeling. You're like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. I felt like that now I'm going to make it because here they come. So yeah. And then the wife got investigated for domestic abuse.
Oh yeah.
You didn't know it.
Talk to you on your own. Do you feel safe at home?
She had no idea this was happening. All like 4 or 5 officers came up and talked to her separately. Like, so what happened? This is wild. What happened? And they're like, could you show me where this happened? So they're all looking at it, and then I guess they got together and had a little meeting. And she told me, she was like, those guys were so curious about what happened. I'm like, yeah, because they want to figure out, did you cut me with a machete or did was it really an accident at the house? Yeah.
Did she plant the fish tank?
Maybe.
Half of your fall with it.
She might have.
The classic, like, fell down the stairs of a wife, the husband's, I fell out of the ceiling.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I will say this, when I was able to finally get home, it was kind of emotional going to that spot because I was like, damn, I almost died. Because they said, literally, if you would have nicked that femoral artery, you've got, like 11 minutes maybe at the most if you don't stop that. So it's a close one. But so it's kind of emotional. But I saw, because it was on this wood workbench that I got, it's just made out of just unfinished plywood or unfinished 2x4s. And one of the big blood stains was in the shape of a heart. And I thought, maybe I was meant to go. And that was what I was leaving behind for the family there.
No.
But I lived.
Make sure it was a heart, not an ass print.
It's a heart. I've got it there still. I have the date marked on there. And the heart is still on the workbench. It's preserved for all eternity. So yeah, you can come by and see it sometime. So yeah, Royce Neely, first time he came to my house, he's like, "Hey, can we go see that heart?" All the other shit, I got whiskey collection, all this stuff, he wanted to go see the heart. So yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, Katie, we're talking about. I don't know what we're talking about. What are we talking about? I'm not sure.
No, it's how nosy are you? Like,
how nosy are you? So McNew saw someone get pulled over on her street, and she stayed outside to watch it.
The whole thing.
Oh, I was
going in.
Yeah, I'm a person who's going out and vacuuming the carpet for sure.
Me too. Linda said she'd stay inside her house, but just peer out gently through the.
No. Part of it, I start to go. That's when I'm very tempted to use the powers I have through work to start like looking up reports, and I'm like, I'm going to start like listening to the police scanner and then look at reports coming in and putting the pieces together because I get very curious. Which really, I think that's a part of why I love my job is that I am very interested and want the dirt on things. So getting all of the reports for crimes, and all people's dirt in like divorces, I find it incredibly satisfying.
Could
to
you
have
go
that
out there and
information.
take charge of that situation and be like, "Hey, I'm Judge Joyce. What do we have going on here?"
I'm just stepping outside my bounds a little bit.
I don't know. I don't know what. Yeah.
I
don't
was
know how that
almost
works.
later than I was because as I was leaving my Lions Club meeting, I got to the end of the road. The meeting's only 5 minutes from my house, but I get to the end of the road and there's a car that got pulled over by one of our sheriff's deputies, and so they're blocking like my lane because they pulled in, decided to sit in the opposite lane of their direction, I guess. Sure. But then in the other lane, there's a car like parked and turned off, not right next to it, but like 15 feet back from it, also in the wrong lane for their direction of travel. And I was really tempted to sit there and be like, I'm curious to know where this is going. But I wanted to not continue to be late to record with you all tonight. So I snake through them to get out.
Right.
And it was one of our deputies' cars that had the shaded tinted window, so I couldn't see who it was. If I saw who it was, I would have been like, "Hey, Matt, roll down the window. What's going on?" But I couldn't tell if it was one that knew me well or not. So I'll try to get the scoop tomorrow, though. Now.
Yeah.
What was going on at Fairgrounds Road?
Yeah. Could that potentially end up in front of you at some point?
It could. I don't get the
Probably not
majority of
likely.
the traffic stuff anymore. That goes
Right.
to our newest judge, and
Well,
so
sure. Yeah.
probably not in front of
A
me.
new judge got to do that stuff. Yeah. It's the only way they're going to learn.
I am on call though for warrants right now for this week. So if it gets real nasty and I get a call here and I have to step away, you'll know.
Okay, then we know you're doing judge stuff. All right.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lenny, how about you? Lenny seems like he'd be kind of nosy.
I mean, if somebody gets pulled over for like speeding or rolling the stop sign, I couldn't give a shit. I certainly wouldn't really look. I mean, sometimes if I'm driving by, I like rubberneck just.
What
to
about
see if I
outside
know.
your house? In this example, we're talking about outside.
Nothing happens out the house.
Not
I mean,
me
if it
either,
did,
but it could happen.
But
well,
you're at a friend's house
like-
in town. So
Oh.
like you're in town at a friend's house.
yeah, if it was like my first thought is like I live in such a small town and I know most of the town or at least who they are. I want to see who's getting pulled over.
Sure.
But beyond that, like unless it's something interesting, like or more than just a typical traffic stop, I don't care. If it's at night, I care a little because I want to see if it's anybody I know possibly getting a DUI. But again, this is just me rubbernecking. I'm not going to stop and hang out.
Right.
Today I was coming out of the grocery store, which is maybe a half mile from my house. And most of the police officers know me also because I'm sitting like the police station is right there next to our warehouse. So I saw one who had pulled me over in the past and let me off without a ticket. And I saw another one who found my winning room away and like has come in for drinks in the past. So I didn't want to like stare at them too much because I'm like, they're just doing their job. But they're like wheeling bikes from around the corner and there's two kids. I'm like, what are these kids who look like they're at best in high school do that there's this activity? Anyway, I never quite figured out what was going on, but I certainly wasn't going to just be like, so what's the deal? Like, what are you guys doing right now?
Really?
If I'd never see him again, I'm like, be more nosy, but
Right.
I see him
That's
tomorrow.
fair.
You're not going to seek them out, but if you saw them, you would ask, you would inquire.
Yeah, I just stay on good terms and stay like distant with regards to pretty much everything. Unless they're a paying customer, then I,
Really?
different. Yeah, well, if any of the police officers come into the Deer Hammer, yeah, they're my favorite people. But otherwise, I don't know.
You're police neutral?
I like to keep a distance.
Okay.
Never know.
You would think you would want to be on their good side. You would think.
Well, I do, but like the one police officer I saw, she pulled me over for rolling a stop sign right at the corner of our street between this police station and Deer Hammer, and she said, and we kind of got into it for a second. She was like, "Is there a reason why you blew through that stop sign?" I was like, "I wouldn't say I blew through it. It's like I was more of a like slow down and no one was coming." I was like, "Plus, I'm driving an '86 Samurai. This thing's like got the shittiest clutch." And she was like, "Okay, I get that. You're right. And I was like, "Thank you for de-escalating because this could have gotten bad fast."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it sounded like you started to get a little Philadelphia. You went back to your
I don't
roots
trust
there.
my temper, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, part of it too, like if you're just trying to get somewhere and they're pulling you over and it's like, look, just write a ticket for a stop sign or don't. I really don't care at that point. Just stop wasting my time. That's the part that I'm upset about. Like, so don't be wasting my time and ask all these questions. Either write the ticket or don't. You pulled me over for a reason. You're looking for something. So write it, don't. Let's move on with our days. Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. I know. Yeah. They want to ask you all these questions, and who knows what they're doing. Yeah. Yeah. What are you going to do? Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. And I knew McNew would be nosy. Heck yeah, she's going.
Oh yeah, I wasn't going in at all. They were like rolling in 4 deep. Tell me to go in because maybe it's dangerous, but they just ignored me. So I was like, I want to just keep watching. So.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, what happened?
Do you know what happened?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah, well, I'm just sitting out there, like, drinking wine, like, reading my book, minding business, actually. But I see this, like, it's a sheriff. It's not Muncie PD. It's a sheriff. He pulls over this car. She pulls in. He gets her out. And I can hear him saying, like, you're swerving. I think you're under the influence. Your eyes look funny. So he makes her do a field sobriety. And I'm watching that. It's in my parking lot.
Right.
And the conservation officer pulls in behind him. And I'm like, oh, that's serious. Like, those guys are, like, a little powerful. And then 2 more sheriffs pull in. So I'm just watching the whole thing. Like, they make her walk up and down so many times. She's not doing a good job. And they finally, one puts her in the back, arrests her. The other ones leave. One stays for the tow truck. A whole tow truck came and impounded her car. And then I looked it up today because I'm nosy. Because I'm just like, there's only one person getting arrested at this address yesterday. So I find her name and she's like in the Delaware County jail. And it was an OWI, but I don't know if it was alcohol or drugs because they searched the whole car. So I don't know. I'm just going to like keep stalking this case now because I feel like I'm part of it.
Okay. You're part of it. Yes.
I was a witness.
What did this woman look like, by the way? You hate to say that's a factor, but I was watching on YouTube one time, and a police officer shows up to a convenience store, and there's a naked woman masturbating. Just on she's on something, but she's literally so he puts it out on the radio. He says, "I got a nude woman at the 7-Eleven here masturbating," and 9 cops showed up. This is a naked woman. What exactly could she do that every cop in town decides they got to get to the 7-Eleven to help out in case there's trouble? 9 of them.
She was tiny. She had to be like 5'3" or so.
Oh, see, this is why you have the show of force, I suspect.
Yeah, no, but like she looked really disheveled. Like her clothes weren't clean. They didn't match. Like she's like the Cookie Monster pajama pant kind of girl.
Right.
Sounds like my
she was
kid.
looking rough, but
yeah. I bet you there's some code word they got to. You're going to show up for this one.
Like this one's really a shit show. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
Here, come by.
Yes. So.
Probably exactly what it was.
All right. On that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Linda. Linda, what do you got there?
Horse and Jockey from the ABV Barrel Shop.
Oh, nice selection.
I do not expect much from this. We'll see.
Okay, it was bassy. Squeaky and bassy is how I would rate that one. All right, next up is McNew. Miss McNew.
I have an IW Harper Cabernet cask.
Okay, that was nice. It was cute. It's our lead right now. It was, and you stuck the landing, so it was good. All right, Lenny, you're next. Lenny, Lenny froze up, I guess.
Virginia Distilled Courage and Conviction.
Your audio is bad. Yeah, you don't have a great connection today.
Oh, it is. Let me fix that.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, no, I blame Starlink or something. I don't know.
Okay.
It's better.
Is my audio back on?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I've got Virginia Distilling Courage and Conviction Cuvée Cask American Single Malt.
Okay.
A lot of words.
Okay. Ooh, that's our lead. I didn't think it was going to be good because there's this. He kind of froze up mid cork pop, but the sound still came through. If you notice, his hand was stuck like here. But
It was like the opposite of Swyatt, where we can hear everything he says, but we never can hear his cork pop.
Right.
It's like the microphone, it cut out some of what Lenny was saying,
Right.
but it let that pop come through.
yeah. So he's got a
Good job,
special
technology.
Yeah. All right, Katie, Lenny has the lead. What do you got?
I've got some red line double oak.
Oh, I think that sounds like game over. That is really good. I still have to go, but I got a halfway full bottle of Char Number One rye from Buzzard's Roost. I don't anticipate beating that cork pop from Katie. So let's see what we got here. No. I was glad the cork it just folded up basically on me. Didn't do a thing. So, cheers to Katie.
Aww.
Cheers.
Ding.
Shows up late, wins the cork pop, and probably going to mic drop and head out. Should be all for Katie.
To be me.
Right.
That's all for me tonight, everyone. Thank you.
Leave on a high note. That's key. All right. We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, you know what we talked about earlier? Look at the title of the article if you to click on the link. Hilarious. It is exactly what we said we were talking about. We'll get to that after the break. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Are you starting?
Yeah, of course. This will sound like good conversation for the show.
Jesus.
You're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Making a damn bumper.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about Stitzel Reserve.
Yes, we are. So I had noted that, and of course in the show notes here I put a link to the thing, and it's the long link, foodandwine.com/Stitzel-Weller-launch. So they're calling it Stitzel Weller even behind the scenes. So it's hard not to do. We were saying, Katie, how hard is you see Stitzel Reserve and you automatically want to say the Stitzel Weller Reserve.
Yep.
And of course, Weller's owned by Sazerac, a totally different company. And I didn't even notice that before. So that's cool. Just a little scoop about this. So it's the first whiskey that's come out under the name Stitzel in 30 years. So after, Stitzel Weller goes away, and then it becomes no longer a thing. It's still used as the distillery, and of course they're on the old Stitzel Weller site. Diageo owns that, and that's something that's part of the Bourbon Trail and stuff like that. You can tour the old Stitzel Weller distillery now, and but the name Stitzel has not been used since that time when they went out of business. So this is I guess a super premium offering, a 24-year bourbon. Diageo is a big company, and they do some of the these old whiskey releases under other labels and stuff like that. So 24-year bourbon. It's a 9-barrel blend from master blender Nicole Austin. Comes in at 123.4 proof, 191 bottles, with a suggested retail of $1,600.
Everybody running out to get this.
Obviously the $1,600 jumps out, but Steve, how many barrels did you say?
9-barrel blend.
Nine
191
barrels.
Yeah.
So 9 barrels.
That's old whiskey for sure. Yeah.
It's not just that. 9 barrels. A barrel usually yields close to 200 bottles.
Sure.
9 barrels yielded 191. Well, probably more, but let's say 191 bottles. That's bonkers. That's a lot of Angel share.
Or my thought was that they're holding back bottles on purpose. One, to create larger interest and more of a deficit, and 2, possibly holding some back for later release or to special people so that they have other plans with it.
I would think that's part of it too.
Immediately, I was like, oh, you're not selling all your bottles. I see how it is.
Yeah, you could do, every week do a $1,600 bottle drop in the gift shop of this, and you make all the money versus distribution where you're going to make a percentage of the money, and people will be like, holy shit, I'm in here. I wouldn't buy a $1,600 bottle, but I'm in here on the day they have it, and there's only 191 bottles produced. That's the number that's going to stand out if you know anything about it. Boom, you shell out $1,600.
Is that the answer from everyone that you shell out? Because normally I'm like, it's still whiskey. For one bottle, I'm sorry, I don't like any whiskey in the world that much to pay $1,600 for it. But and also I hate secondary, so I morally can't resell it. I would have to drink it, and so at that point, I'm like, what do I do? Do I buy? I probably would. I mean, I make stupid choices when I whiskey.
Huh? Do you try to get some investors and say, hey, I see this, and if 4 of us get it, it's only $400 a piece, and then we'll split it 4 ways? I don't know. Maybe that's the way. I don't know what to do. That's tough.
Or you convince a friend that it's a really good thing
With
to
regards-
buy, and then you try theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should buy it, and I will.
I'm like, Katie, you got to call me back immediately.
At that point, you probably could just be like, Katie, you owe me $800. I did a thing. You're in on it. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Venmo me. Yeah.
Yeah, just a text. Venmo me $800. Okay.
Yeah.
It's but to the point of secondary, I kind of like when I see brands selling. I don't like, whatever BTAC going as MSRP for $200 or less, and then it doesn't sell anywhere near that. At least they're selling it for what? I don't think they're going to mark it up above that at retail.
True.
Probably.
Just realize that margin.
Yeah.
Or at least not such. I think this could be a major experiment by Diageo to see, okay, if we put a crazy high price compared to what they normally are for retail, let's see what stores do. Let's see what secondary does. And so using this as the excitement of the release as a test.
Only 191 bottles are releasing.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
It's a great way to test for sure.
And that's the part that makes me love this. I can imagine sitting around their big conference tables. There's yes, let's test this. Let's see what see what the plebs do now if we mark it up to this amount.
It's still in there. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen secondary with this. There could still be room there. I mean, you see Eagle Double Very Rare. Isn't that $2,500 retail, quote unquote? It's not that you can buy it for that, but it's $10,000 on the secondary, and they sell it at stores, 10,000, the ones that get it. So even at $1,600, there could be room there for an upcharge for the stores that get it and do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That's kind of what Van Winkle sells for, the old one.
Oh yeah. And this is older than that, so So
I noticed on the article about it I think they're really trying to like hype up the whole process of how they came to pick these. And for one, I think they said it was like 2 years scouring the site for exceptional casks. How many barrels are there that it took 2 years supposedly to like decide?
Yeah.
Either this is a really indecisive person for this project, or they have way more than I can even imagine to take 2 years.
2 years, 24 years and older too. So this
If I had to guess, though, 2 years, it could have been they did a cycle film and they're like, these aren't that awesome. Then they did another cycle, and they're like, they're still not that hot. And then they caught it on a different season. You know, they just kept reusing. And finally, they're like, you know what? We caught it right.
Yeah.
My guess. That happens.
Okay.
On
that would make sense. Okay.
That could be.
Could be wrong. But also, props to Nicole Austin for getting the project if it was truly in her lap the whole time. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, I like her lineage of, like, starting small and getting to this point where she's selecting barrels of ultra expensive bourbon. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
It is really cool.
It is really cool. It's been cool to watch her advancement in the industry for sure. So, yeah, she does a great job.
They were trying as well in the article to kind of hype up of how special it was in the picking process. And the one description they put that stuck out to me was that the process involved literally squatting next to the barrels, chalk in hand, nosing them by quality right there on the spot. No lab samples, just instinct, marked the ones that stood out. And immediately though I thought, I'm like, but that's how they do it all the small places. Like the amount of times I've seen Becca out there in Neely, like climbing around on top of stuff and then like drilling into it. Then I'm like, okay, so you're doing what you do anyways at craft distilleries. Like, but also it's a Diageo project, so that is cool that they're going, I guess that like
maybe that's what that lady was doing that got the police call that they all responded to.
That could be. She's like, I'm working on a project for the Diageo.
I'm squatting next to the barrels.
Yeah. Squatting next to the barrels with chalk in hand. So, yeah. So it's cool. I mean, we'll see what happens with this. 191 bottles for a nationwide release is not a whole lot. So our chances of knowing anybody that gets
air quotes for a nationwide release. Air quotes around that.
Yeah. It's
Steve, you gonna order one for the barrel shop?
Yes, yeah. They tend to give us everything, so I'm sure
submit his order for that. I'm sure it'll go well.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll know someone that gets one of these. It could happen. You never know. But I don't hold out a whole lot of hope. But you never know. It's crazier things have happened. But $1,600 is the suggested retail. We'll see what they are on the market. The great thing is, as soon as you hear about this stuff, you can look online, and someone will have it online already. It'll be like $7,000. It's like it's not even for sale yet. They read the article, and I guess they create some sort of fake list. I mean, the scams that are out there is unbelievable. So,
or it's Diageo.
Maybe it's Diageo.
It's the Diageo bots out there.
Yeah.
We're excited.
So what's what their summer interns do? They're like, go create some secondary.
Fair enough. All right. On that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Linda, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
Linda Modica on Facebook and Instagram.
All right. Katie.
You can find me over on Instagram at KatieProof.
Lenny.
You can find me and the rest of Deerhammer on social media at Deerhammer, on the web at deerhammer.com, and you can come visit us in beautiful Buena Vista, Colorado.
All right. McNew.
On Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Also, come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. We're online, abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you're in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.